Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of the Daily Cannon Tactics Board. Stephen Bradley here, bringing you the tactical tweaks and quirks that came from Arsenal's very encouraging 2-0 win at the King Power Stadium against Leicester City earlier this lunchtime. A performance to build upon that came on the 3-1 win over Aston Villa last week. The Leeds performance that came with the backups on Tuesday night. And yeah, this was one of those performances where no one played badly. That everyone did their job, and that included the goalkeeper, Mr. Aaron Ramsdale, who I will say now at the start of the video while everyone is watching, I said on the Daily Cannon podcast 3 months ago that Aaron Ramsdale was Jordan Pickford without the distribution. So I'm off. I'm kidding, but yes, like right now in front of me there should be a large plate of humble pie with a side of crow, and maybe if I could have a hat, maybe just start eating that, because he's been very impressive so far in this. When he's come in, he hasn't lost a game for Arsenal yet, and today was one of those games where you can see why he was bought, and those of us who doubted it so far have got a lot of egg on our face. But yeah, if this is, like I said, one of the videos that you're looking forward to seeing in your inbox, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want these in your inbox on a regular basis, hit the bell. Like I said, we've got over 1,000 subs now, a burgeoning community of people, talking in the comments. Feel free to join in. One rule: act as if you're in a pub. Don't say something that you wouldn't say to a lad's face. Like we've got a very respectful community who enjoy talking tactics, and yeah, it's great to see. And yes, this game was great to see as well, because it was a continuation of the Villa performance. But, so, when Arsenal lined up against Villa, we saw this /4-4-2. And, again, it means Lacazette drops deep, Smith Rowe pushes on, Saka pushes on, and occasionally Tavares joins the attack as well from left back, who is proving to be a very capable understudy for Kieran Tierney indeed. Like, I don't think it would be unfair to say that Kieran Tierney might start looking at his shirt thinking, I've got to buck up here. Tierney's been okay, but he hasn't been given the freedom maybe that Tavares has been given so far. So seeing Tierney given this role, I would say would free him up a bit. But Tavares so well has been a fantastic understudy. For 7 million quid. Like a lot of people will say, Ramsdale was a great signing, Lukonga was a great signing, etc., etc. And Odegaard, who also came off the bench, who played well today. But don't overlook Nuno Tavares. He was excellent again. And this was a game where, like I said, everyone did their job. It was, so the first 20 minutes, like against Aston Villa, Arsenal waited for a trigger. When pressing, you don't do what Manchester United did against Liverpool last Sunday. You don't just go, he's got the ball, we'll all just go over here one bit at a time, because they'll find that ball around the back and suddenly it's in there. So you have to be coordinated, you have to pick your spots, and the best way to do this, or at least the easiest way, is look for a trigger, they call it. And your trigger is usually when the centre-back that you want to have the ball, not they want to have the ball, but the centre-back you think is the least proficient as a passer on the ball, the least comfortable on the ball. As soon as he gets the ball, then you strike. And today, playing that role was Mr. Johnny Evans. And what would happen was, Arsenal would line up, occasionally pretty much banks of 4, 2 banks of 4, but we'll go into that in a second as well. And then Lacazette and Aubameyang would just basically wander around watching, the back 5, as it was, of Leicester. It's not really a back 5 because, Justin Thomas is a left wing back and Luke Castagne is a right wing back. Like, they can be right midfielders as well. So they can go 3-4-1-2 at ease. But Arsenal just waited. Like, Soyuncu would pass it to Amartey, to Castagne, and back and forward and back and forward. I mean, I can show you the heat map here. Like, you can see here, like it would get into, Tielemans occasionally, but Leicester were basically just knocking it around like this all the time, and they're getting stuck in the wings and then going back and then forward. And anytime they would do this, Arsenal would go, not bother here, you can have the ball here all day long, we don't care. But as soon as Evans got it, it changed. As soon as Evans got it, flick switched. Even a switch flipped. Lacazette would push up, Aubameyang would push up, Smith Rowe would push up, and Saka would push up, and Nakonga would push up, and Partey would push up at once. And then Tavares pushes up, Gabriel pushes up, White pushes up. And they did it as a team. And now suddenly Evans is going to go, uh-oh. What do I do? Do I knock it back? If he knocks it back and Schmeichel knocks it long, great. We've pushed up. They have to all get back. And we can try and catch him offside off the goal kick. If he tries to find Thomas or Castagna on the wings, he'll usually miss because he's not that good with his feet. And Arsenal get the ball back. And then what was happening again and again was that when Leicester were trying to build out from the back, I'll get Iheanacho out of the way. We'll say Arsenal are just sitting back here in their 4. It was really only Sumer who was coming back for the ball because Iheanacho was trying to find space behind the back line. So was Vardy and so was Maddison. So with Castagna trying to spread the play and Thomas trying to spread the play, suddenly when Smith Rowe pushed up and Saka pushed up, they were often left like this with Tielemans and Maddison here. It was often condensed into this little pocket where Evans would go, well, what do I do? I've no one to pass the ball to. So would either go back to Schmeichel or he'd force a pass to Amartey and Smith Rowe would pounce, and again corners would get won because they were just pushing up again and again. And they scored from a corner. Again, 4 corners. Now, well, 4 set pieces, I suppose you could say, in 4 games that they've scored from. And then the second goal comes from exactly this, where Arsenal win the ball off Slimane, goes into Lacazette, breaks off the box, Smith Rowe comes in late, smashes the ball in 2-0. And Arsenal's endeavour is rewarded. Arsenal's, at least their courage, I suppose in a football sense, of getting people in and around these areas, pushing people far up as soon as Evans got the ball, was rewarded. And then Arsenal did what they did against Spurs. They just said, that's it, 2-0, that'll do. We're not going to risk any more. We don't, if they score, great. We still have it in our arsenal to go back, to go forward again. But we're now going to sit and wait. And for 45 minutes, at least for the whole of the first half, it was, frankly, a masterclass in how to defend against 5. Against a team with, 5 in midfield. Because 2-0 down, Leicester obviously had to go for it. And when they play, we'll get everyone deep for a second. Marty, Seanso, Sumare. Iheanacho wants to get deep. Vardy wants to get deep. They both want to get behind the play. Castagna wants to cross in. Thomas wants to cross in. Maddison wants to float. And Tielemans, unbelievable player, helps everything tick. Making sure the ball goes left, right, centre again. Again, if we go to the heat map, Tielemans pretty much everywhere. And Tielemans would operate from here. And Arsenal's plan was very simple. They were not going to let Vardy or Iheanacho get in here. These half spaces between the fullbacks. So, and you don't want to give room either. It's if we bring all the Arsenal players back. Let's just say they're defending 4-4-2. If you're like this, you can see the room that Castagna and Thomas have here if you're narrow. It's like if everyone just goes, right, we're just going to, we're going to defend in between the penalty boxes. We're in between these lines. We're going to go nice and narrow. You can't do that. You can't do that against a team that plays wing backs because they literally just go around you. So what Arsenal did, they said, look, we're not giving up any space in between the channel, in there, in the half spaces, but Smith Rowe is going to go here, Saka is going to go here, and then Partey, Nakonga, and Aubameyang and Lacazette are going to do this. So it's almost 6 as a backline, in a way. And we've seen teams like, remember Manchester United doing this at Liverpool, when Liverpool were in the pop and Mourinho turned up and he played Marcus Rashford here, and we were saying, oh my god, he's playing Marcus Rashford as a left wing back. But this is what Smith Rowe was doing. And he was just sitting there. He was just making sure that Castagna couldn't get down here. And Saka was doing the same with Justin Thomas. So now, if you're Maddison and you're Tielemans, you don't care. Look, Aubameyang and Lacazette are literally just going to, do this basically. go left and right. Because if Amartey and Soyuncu and Sumare and Evans have the ball, they don't care. They're like, yes, happy days. If the ball's anyway, if you're 2-0 up and the ball is consistently here, you're happy. You know, you're like, grand, happy days. But if Vardy wants to get in here, there's no space. If Iheanacho wants to get in here, there's no space. If Maddison wants to play in 10, well then Partey and Lokonga will drop back. So now there's no space. So now Tielemans has it here, and again, there's that hot spot there. Tielemans and Maddison had the ball here all game long, and Arsenal were like, okay, what are you going to do with it? And like I said, apart from an odd free kick, which, like I said, I can't show you because, you know, copyright, etc. But go find it, because Aaron Ramsdale pulls off one of the best saves you'll ever see. Apart from that, Leicester did nothing. It was 2-0. It was half time, and Leicester had a problem because Arsenal were very comfortable in their shape. They were very comfortable in their setup, and they were keeping Leicester at arm's bay. They were literally putting their hand up like that and going, "You're not getting anywhere." So they had to change it, and to their credit, they did. Because what they did was they'd said enough of this 5 at the back. They took off Amartey and brought on Lookman. And then they took off Iheanacho and brought on Harvey Barnes. And they, in essence, went with Sumer would go here, Tielemans go here, Maddison, and then Vardy. And they changed the point of attack. Instead of trying to get through the middle or trying to get through here, what they did was they told Harvey Barnes, right, you're going to stand here. They told Lookman, you're going to stand here. And you're going to make Tavares and Tomiyasu do this. Because we're going to attack with our fullbacks, and now Smith Rowe and Saka at least have to give them credit. So now the cover is gone. Now, again, they're leaving 2 at the back, and, you know, 65 minutes in, after one long, you know, literally a goal kick from Ramsdale, had Aubameyang one-on-one with Evans off a goal kick, and Aubameyang turned him, and Evans should have got sent off for hauling him down, because Soyuncu was here. He's literally last man back, but oh well. But Leicester were able to attack Arsenal for a good 20 minutes, because now look at the numbers. It's suddenly 3-on-2 here. So Partey has to cover here and Lokonga has to cover here. And now there's space. Now Lookman can run in here because Tavares has to cover Tielemans, who's coming here. Barnes now can run here because Thomas is running past Saka, and Suman, he's coming here. Again, they're risking numbers because they're 2-0 down. But now Arsenal are getting, you know, what Arsenal didn't want to happen is happening. Barnes is getting in this half space. Lookman's getting in this half space. Barnes especially had an excellent game. You know, Tomiyasu was okay, but Barnes gave him the runaround, at least for most of the second half. And just because Tomiyasu was, you know, caught between either being here or being here, because he did want to go too far, because if Thomas got past, then, you know, it's 2-on-1. Saka can come back, but it's still not great. So he was offering it him aside, knowing that Barnes is weak on his right foot, but Barnes just kept shooting with his left and nearly scored. So what do you do? What do you do if you're Arsenal? You do exactly what Arteta did. You take off Lacazette, who again is really effective for 55 minutes. After that, not so much. And he brought on Odegaard. And Odegaard's job was to do this. Basically that, and go 4-5-1. But anytime Arsenal did get the ball, to immediately attack. So he ended up there. And as you can see, he ended up a lot on the right. A couple of bits on the left, but a lot on the right. And because of this change, when Arsenal did get the ball occasionally, instead of having Lacazette there, they now had Odegaard. And Odegaard's better at beating a press than Lacazette is. Which meant when Sumare and, you know, Tielemans got back, Odegaard, you know, even Barnes would come back, Thomas would get back, Castagna would get back. Odegaard was more comfortable getting the ball here and keeping it instead of just flicking on the ball to Saka and then bombing on. He was more likely to give it back to Partey and then to Lokonga. And even though Leicester had 15-20 minutes of a lot of pressure. They didn't create that killer chance where you think, oh my god. Again, Ramsdale played really well and made a couple of really good saves, but they were half chances. And it's one of those ones where if you look at the stats and you see, 2 expected goals compared to 0.85, like 16 shots for 2 expected goals isn't that much, considering that Johnny Evans off the rebound off Aaron Ramsdale's save from the penalty kick is 0.56 by itself. So if you take that away, it's 15 shots for 1.4, which is not that good. Again, 9 shots per 0.85 ain't great either, but again, 1 from a set piece and 1 from so Arsenal's a little better than you'd think, and Leicester's isn't as good as you think, even though they had 64% possession, 16 shots and 2 expected goals. It's not as simple as, look, you can see all the shots they've had here outside the box. They can have them all day. That's fine. It's a couple of efforts here from corners. Again, Barnes from 0.5, even though it's close to the goal. Barnes with a good shot was saved by Ramsdale. Thomas missed one. And then, only the Evans one really, when he was 2 yards out from the goal, really counts as a big chance. So Arsenal did their job afterwards of just keeping Leicester at bay, because Partey basically kept hold of Barnes. Gabriel, who was excellent today, in tandem with Tavares. Lookman barely got a chance in. Vardy had 1 chance where he put a header wide, but after that Leicester did nothing. And it was Arsenal nearly for the last 10-15 minutes who looked like they were going to score third. So it's tricky. Like I said, it's one of those games where you have to look at stats like this and almost trust your eyes, because it would look like Leicester had more of the ball, better pass completion, more big chances, etc., etc. And again, Aaron Ramsdale had a fantastic game, but Arsenal deserved to win this game. Like, they made the better chances. They made, apart from, like I said, Johnny Evans' shot after Aaron Ramsdale's fantastic free kick save, they didn't have that clear-cut sitter that they missed. Whereas Arsenal got in behind again and again and just didn't create the chance. That's why it didn't come up on XG. So you wonder what's going to come from this. Is this going to be the plan now? Whether Lacazette plays every week or whether Odegaard will be that second forward beside Aubameyang more often? Because Smith Rowe is thriving here. It would be madness, to take him away from this. Same with Saka. You've got them in their best positions now, able to run in, cut in and on their stronger foot, and have 2 runners ahead of them at all times. This is what you want. If you're drawing, like I said, this is how you want this to happen. Everyone to break out, counter-attack, 2 defensive midfielders who are good on the ball, 2 wingers who are comfortable with both feet, and then 2 runners. Like, it's not rocket science. And Arsenal are now starting to play like they believe in it. They're starting to play like they know what to do. And as a result, they're 5th. With, apart from Liverpool, the best form in the league. Like, they're not awful. Maybe that should be that should be the name of the video. Arsenal, we're not awful. But yeah, Watford next at home. So if they can keep this up, keep up this momentum, keep up this run of good form, then losing 3 games at the start of the season, Manchester City and Chelsea, who they probably should lose to anyway. Only the Brentford game will still stand out as a blot, and Brentford are showing themselves to be rather decent. So maybe Arsenal aren't awful after all. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to leave a like. If you saw anything in the game today that I missed, please feel free to leave a comment down below. Either I'll get to it or one of our burgeoning community will get to it and either agree with you, disagree with you, or just engage in debate with you. Again, the community we're starting to build is unbelievable. And yeah, if you want these videos in your inbox on a regular basis, hit the bell, and as soon as the game is over, or at least as soon as I can get these videos out, they'll be in your inbox ready to go. And yeah, like I said, maybe we're not awful after all. We'll talk to you next time. Cheers.